Did you have something to do with his death?
No.
We're past that point. This is called damage control. Okay? We know that you were involved. You shot him with the .22.
I didn't.
Yes, you did, right in the top of the head.
I didn't.
Okay, I've talked to killers before. I've talked to straight up people that shot several people. They at least have the balls to own it. And you don't.
This is Deborah Frazier, and while a hospital bed isn't your typical interrogation room, she still couldn't escape the truth here.
Who do you think killed him?
Don't know.
Let me ask you this, and I'm going to ask you to be 100% honest with me. Did you have something to do with his death?
No.
So let me explain this to you, Deborah. And I'm going to be as straight as possible. I've probably been a cop now for about 20 years. This isn't the first murder investigation that I've ever handled.
It was a quiet Thursday afternoon when the Zanesville Police Department received a frantic 911 call from a woman claiming her boyfriend's apartment had been invaded. The caller, 37-year-old Deborah Lynn Frazier, sounded terrified, whispering that she could see someone inside.
What's going on?
I think someone moved in the apartment. It was unlocked, and there's stuff everywhere, and I can't find my boyfriend, and his truck's here. And
Okay, ma'am. Are you inside the apartment? Are you inside the apartment? I need you to back out of the apartment if you are. Come back out of the apartment if you're in there.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Come on back out of the apartment. Are you in the hallway now?
I'm trying to quietly get there. I don't know if someone's still in here.
Okay. I'm going to stay on the phone with you, but I need you to back out of that apartment right now.
Oh, no. I see someone.
Are you out? Did you... All units, I have an active home invasion, 3231 Sandhurst Drive, 3231 Sandhurst Drive, active home invasion.
Oh, my God, I'm shot.
Okay. Ma'am, what? He's what?
I've been shot.
Okay, you have or he has?
I have. I haven't even been able to find him yet.
Okay, did you get shot?
Yes.
Okay, all right, ma'am. Who shot you?
Someone in the mask. I don't know. I don't want to pay right now.
Units, I have shots fired, one person shot.
Within minutes, dispatchers issued an alert for an active home invasion at 3231 Sandhurst Drive. Every available Zanesville unit raced toward the address. When officers arrived, they found Deborah on the ground outside the apartment, clutching her leg and screaming that intruders had escaped. Paramedics rushed her to the hospital for treatment, but inside the apartment, officers stumbled upon something far darker. In the bedroom lay the body of Thomas Waddle, Deborah's on-again, off-again boyfriend. He was wrapped in layers of trash bags, duct tape, and a comforter, sealed tightly as if someone had tried to hide him away. At first glance, the scene didn't match Deborah's story. The ransacking she described looked more like deliberate disarray. Photographs of her and Tom torn and scattered on the floor, furniture slightly shifted, drawers pulled halfway open. And then came the biggest red flag, a .22 caliber revolver sitting on the kitchen counter, spotless and carefully placed. If you were a detective walking into that scene, you'd know right away this wasn't a robbery gone wrong. It was a performance, and not even a convincing one. On top of that, medical examiners estimated that Tom had been dead for nearly 20 hours before Deborah made her 911 call. That meant when she called for help, she wasn't reporting a fresh murder. She was covering up one she'd already committed. The next day, while still recovering from her self-inflicted gunshot wound, Deborah Frazier was questioned by detectives from the Zanesville Police Department. What they captured would unravel one of the most calculated, yet sloppiest, murder cover-ups in Ohio's recent history.
What's going on? What happened yesterday? And this, I don't want to put words into your mouth or anything, so this is just in your own words. That's why we record everything. That way we don't miss anything. We want to get the best accurate description of what happened and what was going on. Okay, so.
Alright. The day before yesterday,
Mhm.
Tom and I were,
So, the day before yesterday, we're talking about Wednesday the 9th, correct?
I believe so,
Okay,
because we were waiting on the maintenance guy to change the light out.
okay,
As soon as he did that, I decided to go take a walk. I asked Tom if he'd mind if I just hung out with a friend for a while, maybe spent the night, just kind of get some fresh air,
okay,
because I have trouble with anxiety sometimes, and so sometimes taking walks or just getting out helps, and he's usually really good about that.
okay,
So I went out for a while, and then I got a hold of my friend Johnny Anderson
okay,
and asked him if he wanted to hang out, and we drove around for a while, and then I ended up asking him if I could just spend the night. We played video games, we watched TV. He's an old friend from my early college years.
okay,
That's how I know him.
okay,
And then yesterday, I had tried to contact Tom. I texted him, I called him, and I never heard back, which was weird because normally he's pretty good about getting back to me.
okay,
And so Johnny and I took a walk at Black Cannon Gorge,
okay,
and I decided to I want to go back to the apartment.
Before the next clip, it's worth pointing out that Deborah actually kind of foreshadows what's coming. The detectives already noticed that what she's saying here doesn't really line up with what she told the first responders earlier.
I walked in, I saw the cleaning lady, she was just wrapping up.
okay,
And I walked to the door and I noticed it was unlocked.
okay.
And
Yeah, I think I thought before you said that you had to unlock the door, but I could have been mistaken.
At that point, it could have just been a mix-up, so the detectives didn't press it. They let Deborah keep talking and tell her version of the story.
I went in, and that's when I noticed that the whole apartment was tossed upside down,
Okay,
and I wasn't really sure what was going on. My mind was going in just a million different directions.
okay,
I saw that the light in the spare bedroom was on. I saw the light in the bedroom was on, and I decided to call 911
okay,
because I was worried that someone had tried to rob us or whatever was going on, and I didn't see Tom right away.
okay,
And so I was making my way back to the bedroom, but I glanced where Tom's phone normally lays. It wasn't there. I glanced in the spare bedroom where he usually puts all his stuff, like his wallet, his everything, and it wasn't there. And I was I was thinking maybe he stepped out, maybe he went with family or something.
okay. Does he have family up here?
In Cincinnati.
Okay,
And so I hadn't even made it to the bedroom yet. And there was two guys, hoodies, masks, who came out. And at that time, the 911 operator was telling me to back into the hall. But I was so scared. But I kept backing up, and eventually the one assailant pulled out a gun and got close enough to me and fired it off, and they both bolted. Where they went to after they bolted out the door, I don't know where they went to, because at that point I was shot and I was in pain.
can you describe the suspects to me?
The one I got a good look at, he had a black ski mask on. I could tell through the eye hole he was white. and he had a mossy oak green hoodie
Okay.
and jeans, from what I could tell. The other guy I didn't get a good look at.
What did the other, what, as far as that first guy we're talking about here, was he a tall, short, heavy set, skinny? Can you describe his description?
He was probably a little taller than I am.
How tall are you?
5'3", 5'4".
Okay. So, I think he's 5'5", 5'6".
I guess he wasn't as tall as Tom, and Tom's 6'5".
Okay.
And he was built. I mean, I could tell he had muscles, but other than that, I couldn't tell you much else about him.
Okay.
I was just trying not to get shot, but I didn't get shot anyways.
Was it a semi-automatic or a revolver? Could you tell the difference?
It was like a Clint Eastwood gun.
Okay. What did they say? Did they say anything?
They didn't say anything. I think they were just trying to get out of there because I don't think they expected anyone to.
Did you have to do anything? Did you do anything to them or anything like that?
I just tried to keep the gun away from me.
How did you do that?
I grabbed a hold of it and I was trying to point it away from me because I didn't want to get shot and I was scared.
How did you grab a hold of it?
From what I remember, I grabbed it at the bottom and I grabbed it around the, whatever you call the long piece.
Did you do it with each hand? So, which hand of yours touched the gun? Both?
Yeah, this one touched where you hold it.
Mm-hmm. So you touched the handle?
Yeah,
What about your left hand?
it touched whatever that long piece is.
The barrel?
Where the thing spins.
Oh, the cylinder?
I don't know how.
Like you're saying the things. I know what you're talking about. The round part where the bullets are at?
Right. I know Tom collects guns. I don't know if it was one of his or what.
Okay. What kinds of guns does he collect?
Tom collects, well, I think he has a couple pistols, and I know he has a few rifles, and he has a bow and arrow, I think.
Here's where Deborah brings up her so-called friend, Johnny Anderson, and you'll want to remember that name because it becomes a big deal later on. She says they hung out the night before the shooting, which would have been August 9th. Now, hanging out with another guy the night before your boyfriend's death is already a little suspicious, but nothing could have prepared anyone for what was about to come next.
So you left at 4 p.m. with Johnny Henderson.
No. At 4, I decided to head on out and go for a walk.
Where did you go for a walk to?
I left the apartment complex and I went right up Military. And then what I did was...
When you say up Military, is that towards like the city or back towards North Point?
I think it's North Point, because when you leave the complex...
But you turned right or left?
I turned right.
So you walked down towards like Bear Heritage Credit Union? That, to the road, like the 4-lane...
Where, like, alright, you go and then the road splits and you can go left towards like Dillon and then...
Yep.
Yeah, so I just walked down that way just because sometimes walking helps clear my head.
Well, I definitely understand that. Going for a nice walk always helps out. How far did you walk and where did you walk to that day?
Let's see, I walked kind of past the nursing home thing.
By the Oaks? I think that's what it's called.
I think so.
Okay.
And I cut through the field and then I went right down like a little alleyway type road.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't until later that I called Johnny Anderson.
Okay, when did you call Johnny?
I honestly don't remember the exact time. I'm trying to think. He asked me if if I just want to be dropped off at the apartment. I told him, you know, I just asked him, can we just go back to his place and just like play some games? And
Why didn't you want to go back to the apartment?
I just figured a night away was, you know, because I like to play video games and Tom doesn't. So I like to play video games with Johnny and other people who are kind of into that kind of thing.
Did you have your own video games you took, or does he have the games, or how'd that work out?
I have a PlayStation 4 and he has an Xbox.
Did you take your PlayStation over there?
Yeah.
So you go back to the apartment. What's he do then, or what do you guys do then?
I just had him drop me off in front of the building.
Okay, and did he leave or did he stay?
I'm pretty sure he left, and then that's when I walked in and everything else unfolded.
At one point, the detectives asked Deborah what kind of people she thought could have done this, and here's what she had to say.
Well, what kind of people do you think would do something like this? Why do you think they'd target Tom?
I know he was having issues with his soon-to-be ex-wife,
Who's that?
Callie Burns. He's still technically married, but
What kind of issues was he having with her?
she was just very, what's the word? She had a lot of anger management issues, and she was cheating on him, so they ended up separating.
Okay. Do you think she would be the type of person to do something like this?
But to break in and then shoot me,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you're saying it was two guys. What do you think they were doing? What do you think they were up to?
It's hard to tell, honestly. I don't know. Like I said, when I walked in, everything was all thrown about.
We already know that was a lie. The real question now is when she'll admit it, and why she did it in the first place.
Whenever we catch these people, what do you think should happen to them?
I think they should pay for the crime. I mean, I didn't do anything to anyone to deserve to be shot, and I don't know why anyone would tear up another person's place like that.
I mean, what punishment do you think that they should receive? I mean, that's what we try to gauge, so when we let the prosecutor's office know on how you feel and what do you think should happen, you know, that lets them know up front
Well,
what they need to aim for. I mean, you think they should spend life in prison? You think they should be sentenced to death? I mean, anything like that?
Well, I don't know how Tom feels about it, but I feel that they should at least go to jail for a long time. Shooting someone, I could have been killed.
It's important to remember that even at this point, Deborah supposedly still didn't know that Tom was dead. So pay attention to her reaction when the detective finally tells her what really happened to him.
Did you walk in the back bedroom?
No, they came out before I could even make it back there. Why?
Okay. Well, Tom was shot and killed. It's all right, you can take a minute. It's all right.
While the detectives let her cry, this is where the interrogation starts to get even more intense.
Let me ask you this, and I'm going to ask you to be 100% honest with me. Did you have something to do with his death?
No. I would.
Okay. So, let me explain this to you, Deborah. And I'm going to be as straight as possible. I've probably been a cop now for about 20 years. This isn't the first murder investigation that I've ever handled. It's not going to be the last. When we start our investigation, we look at every angle. We look into every possible situation, possible scenario, and everything that you tell us, we go and follow up with. Okay? Would you have an issue if we looked inside of your phone? Okay. Do you have a password on it? What's your password? And it's all right, I can tell you what it is. It's 6813. We did a search warrant on your phone.
At this point, Deborah knew she couldn't talk her way out of it. But before we jump into that scene, let's catch you up on what really happened and why. According to prosecutors, on August 9th, 2023, the day before the 9/11 call, Deborah stood behind Tom as he sat in his recliner. Without warning, she aimed the .22 revolver at the back of his head and pulled the trigger. She then spent the night staging the scene. She wrapped his body in trash bags, duct tape, and a blanket, and cleaned the revolver before placing it neatly on the kitchen counter. Then, the next day, she shot herself in the leg, a shallow wound, just enough to draw blood, and dialed 911, pretending to be the victim. But Deborah and Tom weren't always like this. In fact, they started out as what many would consider a normal couple. Deborah and Tom met several years earlier in Zanesville, Ohio, through mutual friends. Tom was known as a quiet, hard-working man, dependable, kind, and patient. He worked steady hours, paid his bills on time, and rarely got into arguments. Deborah, on the other hand, was the opposite. She was outgoing, talkative, and always wanted to be the center of attention. When they first met, Tom found her energy exciting. She made him laugh, and she seemed to bring life into his otherwise simple routine. At first, everything between them was good, but over time, that relationship began to change. Friends noticed that Tom had become distant, quieter, and more withdrawn. Deborah was controlling, jealous, and often got angry when Tom didn't do things her way. Their relationship turned into an on-and-off cycle, breaking up, reconciling, and repeating the same fights again and again. But behind all this, Deborah was hiding a major secret, as it turns out that while she was living with Tom, Deborah was also involved with another man, John Anderson, a boyfriend she had been seeing on and off for almost 10 years. John believed Deborah worked as a live-in nurse, taking care of an elderly dementia patient named Tom. He didn't know that the patient was actually Deborah's live-in boyfriend. For years, she balanced both relationships, telling Tom that she was working late and telling John that she was caring for a sick man who needed constant supervision. To both of them, she lied. Eventually, Tom started to notice the inconsistencies. He began questioning where she was going at night, who she was texting, and why money from their joint bank account kept disappearing. Their arguments became more frequent and more intense. According to investigators, this growing tension, combined with financial issues, pushed Deborah toward her breaking point. Prosecutors later revealed that she had just a little over $2,000 left in her shared bank account with Tom at the time of his death. In the days before the murder, Deborah's internet searches became more suspicious. She researched firearms, ammunition, and even questions like, worst place to get hit in the head? How long does gunshot residue stay on skin? How to load a revolver pistol? How to remove GSR from hands? Every search showed that Deborah wasn't planning to defend herself. She was preparing to cover up a crime. So when Deborah was finally confronted with the evidence, there was no more room for lies. And this is the moment it all started to fall apart.
So, on the night of Wednesday, something happened. I don't know exactly what happened in that apartment between you and Tom, but I know that you're the one that's responsible for his death.
I'm not.
Why are you searching? How long does gunshot residue stay on my hands? Yesterday morning at 8 in the morning. Listen, you did.
I didn't.
Debbie's search records. How long does GSR stay on skin? Yesterday morning at 8:16 in the morning. Lake County, Florida court records, Muskingum County court records. I'm telling you, we already know the questions or the answers to the questions we're asking you. Here's your chance to get your side of the story out. If there was something going on that caused this, you need to tell us right now. but you have more knowledge than what you're saying. There was no home invasion robbery, okay? There was absolutely none. So, you've already locked yourself into the biggest lie. Here's your chance to unwind it and tell the truth. Come on.
I didn't do it.
Who did it then?
I love Tom.
You have knowledge of it.
I love Tom.
If you didn't shoot him, who did? Because you know.
I don't know.
Why are you searching? Is there GSR? How do I get GSR off my hands? How long does it stay on my skin? Why did you search that? Why did you search it? Tell me, give me a good explanation on why you searched 5 hours before this robbery ever happened, when you never shot a gun before. Why are you searching? How long does GSR stay on my skin? You tell me that. And an I don't know answer is not good enough. Listen,
Didn't.
you know when you call 911 where you record the calls? You're the only person in that apartment. The audio gets enhanced. We can tell if people are running out and struggling. We look at cameras in the neighborhood. There's nothing. Your story is so far bogus.
I didn't do it.
Who did it then?
I don't know.
Listen, I don't know. Isn't gonna fly. You know this. You know this.
I don't.
Yeah, you do. So you can kill the man you love or have knowledge of that and sit there and look at me dead in the eyes and say, I don't know. That's pretty cold. That's cold.
I didn't do it.
Then tell us who did, because you have knowledge of who did.
I don't know.
I don't know isn't gonna fly. I'm telling you. You can't even explain why you have those search history in your phone. How do you think that makes what do you think that makes us think? Stand in my shoes here for a second. How's that look on you?
Bad.
Why does it look bad?
Because you think that I looked stuff up so I could get away with something.
Okay. And why does that look bad?
Because you think I killed Tom.
Okay.
On March 18, 2024, Deborah Frazier pleaded guilty to murdering her boyfriend Tom Waddle, tampering with evidence, and abusing his corpse. She showed no emotion as the judge read her sentence, life in prison with no chance of parole. Prosecutors called the crime dramatic but doomed to fail. It was an act meant to fool everyone, but the truth caught her faster than she expected. Assistant Prosecutor John Little described it as a rock-solid investigation by a team working in complete sync. Frazier will spend the rest of her life behind bars in an Ohio state facility. The same woman who once believed she could outsmart investigators now living with the silence of her choices. For Tom Waddell's family, justice brought some peace. But nothing can replace the man they lost. A hard-working, kind soul who trusted the wrong person. In the end, Deborah's downfall wasn't just the murder itself. It was her belief that she could fake her way out of it. Because every lie leaves a trace, and those traces told the real story.